All right, y'all. I'm back. Um, I'm trying to do the show today. I'm trying to do a show today. Um, I know y'all like that pulled up weird. You don't have a hat on or anything. Yeah, I'm gonna do a show today. I lost my mother Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I think it was Saturday that I lost my mother on Saturday. Um, um, I'm still trying to come to grips with what happened. And let me see what YouTube is doing, and then I'll come back and start talking about that. What's up, AJ Pax? Appreciate you, man. I appreciate the donation, man. I appreciate it. Anything is better than nothing at all. Something is better than nothing. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah. Matter of fact, let me give a shout out to the people that I know from the community that donated. I appreciate y'all. Let me see. Shout out to AJ Pax. Appreciate you, Aaron. Appreciate you, Aaron, man. Salute, man. Salute. That's you a solid person. Both of y'all solid. Let me see. It's not coming up, but okay, here we go. I appreciate y'all. I don't know if this the boxer Kevin Johnson, but you know, Kevin Johnson, he donated 100 2 times. He donated $100 2 times for my mother. Somebody named Dorothy Clayton, she donated to her mother. Appreciate you. Leslie Rice, she donated. Michelle Ross. Let me see. And I hope I'm not making y'all feel uncomfortable to the people like saying y'all names out there. I apologize. Maybe y'all should just say the names of the people that I'm kind of, says, yeah, some of these people probably don't even want their name put out there. But I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody that donated. Shout out to Box Eye View. Shout out to the brother Box Eye View. That was solid, man. That was. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Forever grateful. Forever grateful. Yeah, man. Let me see. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, AJ Pax. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I'm closer to my mother than any of her kids because I was her caretaker. I was like here with my mother. I was like taking care of her. No, so it's like, yo, some I'm precisely salute. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm trying to stay strong, man. Trying to stay strong. like that. Like it was like if y'all like the last 2 days before it even happened, you know, I didn't ever know that that would be the last day. I literally, I literally had to pick my mother up because my mother couldn't get up to get sit in a chair. I literally had to pick her up, put her in the chair. Then I had to change because my thing is always I was always the way we did things that the way I grew up, women took care of women, men took care of men. And I literally had to take care of my mother. Like the last couple of days, I literally had to take care of my mother. I washed her up. Um, that was it was like crazy for me because I do not want to see my mother naked. I don't want to see my mother in any type of form. I didn't want to see that, but I had to, and that was my like kind of like the last 2 days. Like I don't know, but you know, I guess she's in a better place. She's in a better place. Not guess, she's in a better place. But she still it was comedy for kind of comedy because my mother, to me, my mother, I used to always tell my mother, sometimes she act like she like cartoonish, like do cartoonish type things. And to the very last things that she used to do, I said, Mom, you gotta eat, because she wouldn't eat, she stopped eating. And I said, Mom, you gotta eat. Or I said, you're not gonna live if you don't eat. And she'll look at me like shocked, like for real, and then she'll start eating like real fast. And then as soon as I leave, she'll stop eating, and she won't, she just stop eating and stuff. But it was like comedy, memories. Yeah, but that ain't what I'm here for. I'm here like, yo, y'all. I'm trying to keep my spirits up. I'm trying to do the show, and I'm talking. Yeah, I know it's a lot of talk about UFC, and yeah, I'm not talking about UFC, but it's a lot of talk about the UFC game, and I'm not gonna let that overshadow what I'm trying to accomplish. But I see Steel City is still hiring people. They hiring what was you hiring? Somebody for they're hiring another animation guy. They hiring for the I forget, it's online. It's online. So they're working hard. They're working hard, hopefully, because they were doing the same thing before, but being that it's a different system with the different engine, Unreal Engine. And this I might talk about the Unreal Engine because with Unreal Engine, the more you dig into it, the deeper you see how deep it really is. Is deeper than what a lot of us think it is. The game. So my thing is, there's no excuses. There's no excuses. We could give them a billion excuses for the Unity engine, but no excuses for Unreal Engine. None at all. None at all. Anything that they don't add to the game is because they didn't want to add it in the game. Anything that they do not add in the game is a design choice. Aranova, salute. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Trying to keep my head up, man. I just gotta recalibrate. That's just it. Just gotta recalibrate. Let me see what it says. Yeah, I gotta cut one of my cousins. He's staying on me. He trying to make sure I don't go into a funk. What's up, AJ? What's up, AJ? You probably gotta pop out. I mean, pop in it and then back out.
You sure?
Yeah, there you go. I can hear you.
No, I know the routine with this thing now, how to get it to work on the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
But the stuff you're saying, I can relate to. I'm getting to that point where I got parents again to that age, so that I think the thing you mentioned about seeing your parents naked kind of thing, I can resonate with that. It's you know what I mean?
Yeah, because a lot of coaches, you're not supposed to. That's like the women supposed to do that, not the men. Right. But you know, I got to do what I got to do. Is I can't let my mother. Couldn't let her. Even though my sister is her caretaker, was partially her caretaker too. But I had to make sure my mother was on point.
Right. Well, yo, let me steer you back on topic. But you said you don't want to talk about the UFC, but I came on to say one thing about the UFC before you go.
Go ahead.
So, and nothing about the UFC. Well, it's this whole thing about this this flow state. Have you seen the videos of the flow state?
With them little wavy lines and stuff, yes. When you throw through,
okay. And the whole thing where the everything zones out and you kind of sound like you're in you're like in a like you're in a echoey room. Then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole idea is like they're trying to make it seem like in a fight you start to zone in kind of thing, right? That's the whole thing. But my thing when I saw it, man, to me, it looks like Mortal Kombat. It sounds like Mortal Kombat and looking like Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat Tekken like.
But here's my point now to connect it back to the boxing. I'm watching all the content creators, everybody, like all the usual suspects from Undisputed. And one thing I'll say is I'll call one. What's his name? Paraxis. What's his name? Paraxis. He's kind of he's on my radar right now because I saw him talking about this whole. He's selling, and not just him. A lot of them are selling this flow state, and it's making the game more sim. It's making it more realistic. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? How can you tell the community that when everybody's seeing what the flow state looks like? You know what I mean? And here's the thing now. If it's looking like that, it goes back to what you've been saying for the last 2 years. You had all these content creators. They were selling Undisputed and making up stuff then. And it's the same thing with the UFC right now. They're all doing the same. It's like they're doing the exact same thing. Undisputed. We're gonna do it now for UFC because at the end of the day, it's all about them getting. It's all about their views, right? It's all about the views. It's not. I want to say it's not really. It's not supposed to. It's like some of it's fact, but the reality, it's all views. They're not gonna diss the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have a different agenda, but the thing is, so I know Proxys is doing that right now. What gets me too is that guy's been going to one of those MMA gyms and training and stuff, and you're telling me that in all that time you've had that experience, that outer body experience that they're doing with this flow state. Who the fuck has ever had I'm just thinking, who the hell's ever when you could get that out of body experience that they're talking about in flow state? You ever take EPO? Sorry, not EPO. Oh god, what's it called? Not EPO. It's methamphetamines.
Yeah.
Speed. That kind of stuff. When you or what's the common name for it? Pharmaceuticals called what do you call it, man? Ritalin and all those different kind of drugs.
Yeah.
When you take that shit, it puts you in the zone that you could focus, like what they're trying to do for flow state, right?
You said the same. You said the right word is zone. And the thing is, people do get in the zone, but because I was talking about it in one of the shows, but it's not something that everybody do. What happened is when you do what they say, when you do the you get so tired, you try to make yourself get real tired. And then what kicks in is that it's like I forget what you call it, but it kicks in, and that's that energy boost. It's
But
like
you're talking about training under duress.
Yeah, kind of. That's what. But what happened is you kicks. It's like when even Jordan said it's like everything slows down because
Yeah,
you're so into shape. But that's not for everybody. That's not it. It doesn't happen the way they got it in that game.
but that's yeah. You could slow down. Yeah, but exactly what you said. Who is the person at EA that's saying that's what it looks like
Yeah,
when
yeah,
when you get into the zone? They're full of shit. And
yeah. But
anybody
they
and all the
overdoing it.
content creators that are saying that this is so realistic, this is so good, they're all full of shit, man. It's just
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
just they're just trying. They just don't want to get blacklisted.
yeah. It's to me, it's arcade. It's an arcade element.
It is horrible, man. It
It
is
is.
horrible.
It
And,
is. I would have
and
been. I would have kind of accepted if they didn't put all the wiggly lines and stuff in there, and made they like you like really went. Yo, I'm like, it's like they intentionally did that.
but here's
Like,
the thing now. Where is it? I remember. I think a couple episodes ago, um, you guys were talking about how basically the flow state EA copied the Undisputed when Undisputed had the adrenaline, the original adrenaline style of meter.
yeah, it used to be right on the bottom part. Like I think each boxer had like a little adrenaline meter on the screen.
Yeah, but here's the thing: it doesn't behave this. Okay, when it's active, it probably kind of behaves the same. But the thing is, in the EA, what you have a button. From what I've been gathering, you can activate it. In Undisputed, it came up to your when you ramped up your heartbeat, and you start
Yeah,
and you start.
it was
So you
more
can't just
realistic.
trigger it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you had to do something like you had to do something to really ramp up your adrenaline. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I don't know why people are saying it's. I don't know, man. It's just strange how everybody's
They overselling it. They overselling it for
it's
yeah.
overselling.
It's like EA is not talking. They're gonna let the content creators sell it for them.
But man, it's just and another thing that crossed my mind too. So I'm looking at it from a way different age demographic. The reality is a lot of these guys, they're all probably in their early 20s, late teens. So they probably have but I don't understand how if these guys are all training in the gym and stuff, how are they coming to think that this thing is realistic? This is gonna give you a more sim-like gameplay. I can't get it. I can't understand it.
Yeah, like what's going no, some of them guys they in their 30s. Some of them guys in their 30s. I think Prox is at least probably 29, 28. And I think Nas gotta be in his 30s, at least 31, 32.
What did he say so far? I didn't hear his critique yet on the flow state.
Who?
The guy Nas you're talking about. I didn't hear. I know who he
He's
is, but I
not
never.
gonna critique it. He's not gonna critique it. Everybody that's like MMA, what's his name? All these MMA guys, they're not critiquing it. But what were they doing with Undisputed?
Yeah.
Critiquing it. They're not really
And,
critiquing it.
and already I'm hearing the same bullshit about okay, the punches look more realistic. The punches look more realistic. Yo, I played UFC 5, man, and when I saw the what's going on UFC 6, it looks the same to me. It looks the freaking same. It like
Yeah, it does to me too.
I don't care what they say, but I think I had this conversation with you. I find that what we're seeing now in UFC 6, it's no different than to me, it's the same team that made Fight Night Champion. I'm seeing the same similarities. The same what we had in Fight Night Champion, the way they punch, even the sound effects, man. It all seems like it's coming out. It's all there.
Uh, I'm laughing because From what I'm hearing, Undisputed 2 is gonna make this look like garbage.
Well, it has to, man. Like,
It's gonna make this look like garbage.
like the fact that they're reboot. Like, when you think about it, Undisputed. I don't know. Would you say they're doing a full reboot,
Yeah,
or they're doing a migration?
they're doing a full reboot.
Yeah, it's a full reboot. What people are failing to realize with this UFC series, they didn't do a reboot. It's the same
Nope.
game. It's just they're giving you the
Yup.
incremental updates now. But now we're
Yup.
putting it. Okay, now it's UFC. It's the same. It's the same game, and they can't. And the thing is, they can't reboot the game or go yet because that contract. What was it? They're up. They got the license until 2029 or 2030.
Yeah,
And
and they don't gotta do nothing like major. Hey, we already got it.
Yeah, like this is basically this is the end game right now. We're seeing this
Yeah.
is their before they, and if everything goes good, okay, they'll renew the contract, and then what they'll do is they'll probably reboot it for PS6.
Yeah, then we'll probably see something like over the top, like something major, like when
Yo.
they like at the end of their contract almost.
Yo, I don't know if you picked this up, but a lot of people are also saying oh, I guess the graphics and whatever, everything looks better. The reality is that they cut off support for PS4 and the older generation. So this game now is only for this gen now. All which is the 9th gen consoles kind of thing, right? That's the
Yeah.
only reason the graphics got it's the same thing with Undisputed, man. If you play Undisputed on a regular PS5 or Xbox Series X, the graphics are gonna look lower, kind of thing, right? Because
Yeah.
they still have to design it for a thing. But once you cut off PS4 support, obviously we don't have to water it down anymore. So I don't know. I think people are getting thrown off with this, man. Like it's the same game, man. It's the same game.
I think so too. And you know what's gonna happen as soon as they get the game? In about a month, they're gonna say, yeah, it's the same game. But hey, you don't sold it to everybody. You don't help sell it to everybody. And now you're gonna see it's the same game.
Yo, if anything, I would say the camera angle, to me, it's starting to remind me of Truthbound. It's looking Truthbound looking, man. Unless Truthbound took the camera angle from them, I don't know. But it's that same kind of camera angle where you're kind of peering upwards. It's the same thing.
Yeah. I think Claimer probably got it from them because we can say they had their games out early, and Claimer's still working on his, so basically we just say he took it from them. But I don't know. What's up, Aaron? He said Prox is in his 30s. Yeah, I know he was somewhere in there.
But if he's in his 30s, and I figured, I don't know, man. I don't know how he's. Like, I was surprised when he was supporting this flow state, man. I was kind of surprised because the way this guy talks, he's MMA and stuff, man. If he's supporting it, I wouldn't be too surprised. I haven't seen any of Jay's content, but I'm kind of curious if he.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Jay haven't really said too much. Jay haven't. I seen on post, but it wasn't nothing like major. Like Jay, like it's like he like I don't know. He's neutral. He's not really saying too much. But like even Marshall Mann, he's saying a lot of stuff, and all the MMA guys, they defending it. Like
well, I don't blame because at the end of the day, if you think about it, you could take a page out of what's his name, Boxing Fanatical. That guy, he's a hype man. He's like a benchmark hype man, and his content's good to watch, and he just hypes up. And he goes with
you can't avoid it. You can't avoid Box Fanatical stuff. He does what he do, and I said that from day one when I first talked to Ash. I said you got to get this guy. He got the voice. He got the personality. You got to get him, Ash.
But you know what it is too. When he plays the games, he goes into this kid mode.
Yeah.
Into the kid mode. And I think that's what really that really attracts the audience when they say, okay, you know,
Yeah.
really enjoying the game kind of stuff. And it's not like he's faking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he's actually doing it. Like I was watching this stuff with Bruiser 2D boxing, and I thought to myself, like, I was like, damn, man, I don't know how this guy is like, I don't know, man, him and everybody else, I don't know how they're enjoying this Bruiser. Like, I can understand Bruiser 2D boxing from the career management standpoint. I can say, yeah, they are doing something good. But when it comes down to the visual and the gameplay, I don't know how everybody's shilling that stuff.
Yeah. Everybody's supporting it. They get no views too.
I know, but you know what I said? I'm the only one. Nobody's gonna say it, but I said the punches don't connect, and people are getting mad about it. They don't want, the developer doesn't want. He doesn't want nobody to talk that stuff. But to me, I looked at it, man. The punches don't connect. Poe, did you ever play Double Dragon back in the day in the arcade?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I want to see when people are going to start to wake up and start using the same tactics you use on a Double Dragon game, just to kind of exploit it. That's what's going to happen to this 2D box. This the fact that you can't move around the ring, everything's on one plane. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You play that game once, that's it. You're not going to. I don't see anybody playing that game 2 rounds. When I say 2 rounds, playing the career mode twice once they figure out what's going on.
So you can't see him playing more than 2 rounds?
No, not 2 rounds. Doing 2 career modes. Like after you finish the career mode the first time, how many people are going to go back and play the second time? The only people who will play the second time, it has to be little kids. That game appeals to kids, man. It's like it's a game for an 8-year-old. 8 to 12-year-olds, man. What are your thoughts on it, man? I know you like the boxing sim managers.
No, I like what it is, but it's nothing that I will really. I will buy just to support him because I know he wants to build a better game. But it's nothing that I'm not interested in because I'm not into 2D games.
You know what should be the benchmark for the benchmark? If anyone makes a boxing game, you should not go anything lower than N64 graphics, 64-bit graphics, and it has to be a 3D gameplay.
Yeah,
that's the bare minimum because N64 looks good, and if you could and you could do a lot with N64 graphics. But you need that 3D gameplay environment for the game to work.
Yeah. Thank you, Crooks. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. Appreciate y'all, man. When y'all appreciate y'all coming through. Giving the support, man. Appreciate all of y'all.
Hey, precisely. I was playing UFC 5. I played it for a good maybe a month and a half, and I got bored. I went back to Undisputed after. I just needed a diversion.
See, I'm precisely. Boy, he a UFC guy.
He's UFC, okay. Well, you know what?
I'll
probably get.
I don't know, but I'm just saying that
when it goes on sale. I'm gonna do the same thing when I picked up UFC Ultimate Edition for I think $19. I'll do the same thing for UFC 6. I don't care.
Oh, he said he new to UFC. All right.
You knew? Okay.
Oh, I thought you was a UFC guy.
Like one thing I'll say for sure, UFC the series does not have the combination punching. They have nothing on Undisputed. Even with Undisputed, that shitty Unity shit, the shitty Unity engine and stuff. Undisputed still does it better.
Oh yeah, this what I wanted. I'm glad you said that. The engine. Now you know the guy Estevan.
Yeah.
he was trying to defend Undisputed. Today I saw a post. He trying to defend himself now. Now he trying to say, well, they're on a new engine now, so we're going to get a better game now. Hold up, you was arguing with me. You was arguing with people. You said, well, it's their first game, it's this and that. You said it had nothing to do with the engine. You just don't know how to play. He kept saying that to people. You don't know how to play. And I was saying to him, he was making me mad because I was like, yo, you telling me I don't know how to box? I boxed in real life. So don't tell me I don't know how to box. I know what boxing look like. I know what boxing is supposed to feel like. That's like telling a joker playing you and he a football player and he's saying, hey, I'm not doing it's not doing the right calls. It's not doing I'm not controlling the player right. I know they know what they see. I know what I see. So you can't sit up there and tell a person that knows the sport inside and out what it's supposed to look like. You know how to play a fighting game. Yeah, you know how to play that.
You know what's a good analogy to that too? You ever watch Sports Talk? Like what's his name? One of the guys. He's old now, but you know Skip Bayless.
Yes.
Skip Bayless, that's what you're describing is the same thing. You have this guy who's really a news columnist sitting next to professional athletes, players. Some of them are even Hall of Famers, and he's arguing with them. And I've seen I've seen the episode with what's his name, Shannon Sharp. He got dude, I'm a fucking Hall of Famer, and you're telling me about the sport. Like you know more than me. You know what I mean?
I see that with boxing. I be seeing that with jokers be doing that with boxing. I'm like, yo, you serious? Like George Foreman sometimes he used to let them. I'm like, George, you can take that joker head off and you letting them speak to you like that? Every once in a blue moon, George Foreman to be George Foreman. But he used to let, I forget who used to be his partner, Larry Merchant or whoever it was. They used to be saying some slick stuff. And they're like, no, that's not true. And I'm like, yo.
I've never seen George Foreman argue with any of the HBO. I've never seen him argue. I used to see a lot of Roy Jones used to get pissed.
Yeah, him. Who else used to get what's his name? The one that retired real early. Andre Ward. He used to get angry. Andre Ward get angry with people like yo. What's up, Leafy? Yeah, man. I'm like, these guys. And Ty, please, Steel City. Don't let Todd Grisham do the what's called no more. Not by itself. Not just, if you're gonna add Todd, it gotta be other people. It gotta be other people. Todd Grisham sounds like his commentary sounds like it's for a wrestling game. The stuff he be saying, I'm like, yo. If you listen to his commentary and you listen to Teddy Atlas on Fight Night Champion.
Oh, Teddy Atlas, he's a encyclopedia, man. It's a way different. It's a way different. It's like he's like not just a encyclopedia. He's giving you the war stories in it. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole different thing with that guy.
Yeah, and I experienced that in real life. I listened to Teddy Atlas' voice in real life. Spawn Shannon. That was I was like a kid. That's what like a lot of people be saying. Like when I was like when Beast was saying certain things, I was trying to say every trainer does not have the same mentality about things. Every trainer don't train the same way. So for you to say this is the style that a boxer is supposed to fight, that's not always true for every boxer, because every boxer don't throw their jab the same way, they hooks to the body the same way, they don't clinch the same way. It's different things they do. Let me see. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas is amazing, yeah. And there, Larry, we need what's his name? It was a couple, and Ash, he signed more people than what we had. I don't know what happened. He signed Jim Gray. He signed a lot of commentators, but I don't know what happened.
You think they were just basically they went with the guys who have the most social media following as a way as a cheap marketing trick?
I think so, because everything's changed into marketing. It's like they say, well, we got to do it for marketing. But the thing is, what they doing now is no excuses. It's no excuses now. No excuses. So they gotta basically pull out all the stops, everything. They gotta give us almost everything. It's no excuses right now.
Yo, what's the name of I've seen him at the Undisputed Vegas and some other stuff. I think his name is Farside. Farside or Dark Side. I can't remember.
No, you're talking about Box Eye View.
No, not Box. I know Box Eye View. I saw him. He was in the Vegas thing and
yeah, Dark Side.
What's his name?
Dark Side.
It's Dark Side. Okay, yeah. So that guy, right?
Yeah.
Just the other day, I saw he did a video about it was a video he released a while ago, but it was about he was doing something about the beta, Undisputed Beta. And the thing that he was trying to pinpoint was the whole thing about in the beta you could generate better angles, and you could position better angles to attack from, and then eventually they took it away. They took it away from Undisputed when it came out, so therefore you can't get those angles anymore when you step off, because your opponent will auto turn to you so fast. You know what I mean? But yeah. The thing is, the reason why I believe they don't want you to over angle, because it was getting to a point. I remember that if you over angle the guy, you might end up behind him, and then the game glitches. The game doesn't glitch out, but the thing is, you're belly to belly at this point. You can't really, you know what I mean, and the game can't reset itself until I guess the end of the round. So the thing is this now, that the fact that Undisputed had to use that, I guess, that auto center in order to correct that flaw in the game. Now if we go to the guys who sat and they saw what the latest what Undisputed 2 is gonna look like, nobody asked them that question, but no one's even talking about that would Undisputed 2 fix that issue? Would you be able to get more acute angles? Would you be able to intersect would you be able to step off and intersect now? Or is it going to be the same kind of gameplay we're getting right now where it always auto centers?
But from my understanding with Unreal Engine, that shouldn't be a problem. We should be able to get the angles and everything that we want.
But why? Why is it that Unity failed at that? Unity failed that they had to lock it down so it couldn't create that error in the game. What is Unreal gonna do that's gonna stop that?
I don't know. It's a more powerful engine than let me see. Because I these are things I was trying to make a quick script of what Unreal Engine brings to the table, but let me see. You want to know about the angles?
Like, okay, and Paul, you're the boxer. What is the technical term that I'm looking for? If you not just stepping 45, but if you're trying to intersect, you're trying to step off the center line and intersect him, so he could throw a punch and he's not going to see it. What would you call that?
I'd say creating angles, just creating angles
straight out.
Yeah.
But when you create an angle, what do you call it? Like, you know, when you T-bone a car, when you create that angle, what do you call that angle?
It's like what you're talking about.
Adjacent. I think the word's adjacent.
Making somebody fall off balance by doing a certain movement.
Well, the thing is, if you cut somebody at that angle, they have to turn at that point. They'll replace you, and they'll lose that balance. They'll lose their balance, kind of stuff, right? But is the word adjacent? It's like, you know, when when a car T-bones somebody, is that called an adjacent angle?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what I'm looking for. They took that out of Undisputed because you can end up behind them after, and and you cannot come out of that. Once you get into that, you can't get out.
Yeah, I think that was sort of like the I was about to say rubber band, but it's not rubber band. I think that was a kind of a decent thing happened with that too. You know, it could have something like that happened. You know, I'm not sure because they didn't tell us, but that could have happened for them to take that out. Because I know they were saying at first when they was doing it, they said that was going to be part of the game that you could like maneuver and the person gotta recenter themselves to fight you like in real life. Because you could like do a certain angle and the person like he's off balance or he's out of position.
Well, early access they had it. I remember when I remember playing that in early access, right?
And we had no problems. But you know what it probably was? Once we start like more and more people start playing, that's when it probably started the desyncing and the rubber banding and all these things start happening. You know, I'm just guessing.
But here's the thing. One thing that so this whole thing about creating the angles and not ending up on the other side, but I think part of the issue too is that you can't change sides. Like that's one good thing about the UFC series. Like if you step around somebody, you can end up on the opposite side of the screen. You're not stuck on the left side, or you're not, you know what I mean? You're not always stuck on one side of the screen. Even Fight Night Champion had that ability that you could change sides on the fly. You're not locked, but Undisputed unlocked it.
Yeah, like a 2D.
Yeah.
Even in some 2D games, you ain't really locked. You can like you gotta maneuver it, but you still like not really locked into that one area.
Hey, one good thing about Bruiser 2D, you could change sides.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
They let you change sides in the 2D games.
So that show you that Undisputed was really messed up. I'm like, daggone. But they still hiring. They getting more and more people. But my thing is, at what are they going to do? Like what are they going to give us? You know.
I hope they don't give us that we're delaying for PS6 or the 9th gen consoles. That's what I hope they're not going to do.
Yeah. And you know what's going to mess that up is the way that the economy is going. The way the presidency is going, the economy, them tariffs and everything, that's going to probably mess up everything for us. But I heard they got to do refunds with their tariffs. How you refund tariffs? Yo, that's crazy. You heard about that?
You talking about Trump's tariffs?
Yeah, refund. Talking about some refunding.
It's gonna be messed up because I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Money already.
I don't either. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy work. That's crazy. All right, I ain't getting into the political stuff because then they're gonna start trying to strike me. Oh, he's being political. Yeah, I wrote something that I tagged Steel City in. It's about my boxing video game blueprint wish list, and it's some of the stuff that I was talking about that we need done in the game and what can be added in the game. Because I know a lot of people be looking at my my blueprint and wish list, and they be like, "Paul, that's too much. That's too much. They ain't gonna be able to do it." No, we can't say that. In this day and age, it's not enough. It's not enough. Everything that you see can be put in the game. And when people, this is the excuse that people make up for Steel City. They say, because I use 2K as an example, and they say, well, 2K had all these years to make all these move sets for these basketball players. But my thing is, yeah, they had all these years. They kept adding on move sets. But the thing is, each game they gotta still redo things. So by you saying that it's not like they used, hey, we're putting the same game from last year in this game. No, it's a whole new game. So they rebuilding everything each game. So for you to make the excuse that 2K kept adding on animations to the basketball players, that's an excuse. It's no excuse for Steel City. The technology is out there for them to do the things that 2K did, as it was an experiment and it was trials and tribulations. Now you ain't got to do all the road work that they did. You know, all the like when I say we need a lot of tendencies, and you know, like 300 to 400 tendencies, and I know y'all say, "Oh, that's a lot." It's not. It's really not. Especially with AI. AI helps them. I know people scared of that word, but AI helps them with the tendencies. Helps them implement the tendencies and stuff.
Talking about lie, here's a topic to revisit. So at that meeting they had a couple weeks ago when they showed Undisputed 2, everybody was raving about the online play now. How they got rid of the desync. They're using they moved from peer-to-peer protocol. They're using the what's it called? Oh god, it's a dedicated server, but what's it called? The rollback. They're using the rollback protocol now and everything, right? And they were able to show how no matter what the distance was or how much what do you call it, the milliseconds when you have delay and stuff, it still kept the game, it still kept everything balanced, kind of stuff, right? But here's the thing now. So they figured it out. The whole thing was rollback code. Now going back to the lie, what I want to know is what if we revisit this, what was the reason they didn't put the rollback code in Undisputed on the Unity system?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, one of the answers was that they said the way those guys developed the game, it wasn't designed to be a network game or online game. It was designed as an offline, and I guess they're brand new coders and they didn't know what they were doing, kind of stuff. But if I'm using the word lie, I want to think that's a lie. I think that they misguided the community to think that they did everything possible, but I don't think they never wanted to implement the rollback.
Yeah, people be falling for that because if we go back to some old videos and old posts that they had, they said we're going to add what they said, online stuff and different stuff like that. But the game was originally, I think, it was originally for the people like like I say, offline. It always start offline and then it goes online. When they say it was never originally for online or offline, it was originally offline. Any game that's built is offline by nature. And they fool people to think that, hey, we didn't build it for online, we built it for offline. No, that's not that.
Well, yo, talking about fool, this whole thing about online versus offline, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we ever really discussed this, but the thing is this, like, okay, NBA 2K, there are certain modes that are called internet persistent. For example, you can't play the story mode. Although the story mode is an offline mode, they made it internet persistent, so you have to be always connected in order to play that mode, right?
Yeah.
So if we go back now to what they were saying in Undisputed, how do we know that's not a lie? They never designed it for the purpose. Maybe they never wanted to design the game to be. Maybe they never designed the game to be internet persistent.
That's it. That makes more sense what you're saying.
If the moment you make it internet persistent, it's not because we didn't design it. It's just, okay, we're trying to rip you off.
Yeah. Yeah. Leafy said, I started playing that Fight Night Revival mod on my PS3 last night. I got some sliders to help make it more realistic. I'm kind of liking it, even though it's just Fight Night Champion.
I have Fight Night. I never bothered with the mod because I have Fight Night Champion on my PS3. And the thing is, maybe once every 2 to 3 years, I might touch it. Maybe for 15 minutes, and that's it. It's done, man. I feel a lot of people will do the same thing with this Fight Night, man. The whole thing with the Fight Night, it's just nostalgia. What happened? Like, think about this. Where are all the Fight Night revival leagues now? When Fight Night revival came out in December, it was hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was freaking hot. Where's the smoke now with that game? I mean, when you realize you have to play that game parsec if you want to play people.
And you know what happened too? A lot of people they feel like it's like you trying to make your girl jealous. Say, yeah, we're gonna go play this other game that they fix, and maybe now that they know that Fight Night, Undisputed is done, they're like, man, it ain't nothing to make Undisputed jealous of.
If anything, man, Undisputed is it's that old loose. It's all that old loose girlfriend.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. It's reliable.
Yeah,
it ain't tight anymore, man. Like fuck.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Let me see. Yeah, because I was looking at the I was trying to pull up my LinkedIn so I could see something. Give me a second. But I think they had 3 job openings.
You know, for the longest while, until you put it in words, what Fight Night Champion sound effect sounds like, I can't get over it now. When you said that, it sound like the slamming of the trunk or the door. It's like, yep, that's all I think about now. Anytime I hear Fight Night Champion, boom, I hear that in my head.
Yeah, I can't unhear it. I can't unhear it. Sound like a card. And I'm like, who did the sound effects? Who did the sound effects? All you had to do is punch on a wet bag or some meat or something. That's all you had to do. Hit a bag of meat or something. Yo, I'm like, who did your sound effects?
Who did the sound effects? It's the same guy who did for UFC 5 and going into UFC 6. UFC 5 sounds the same way.
Yeah, I heard that. I thought I was the only one that heard that. I said, hold up, what's going on?
It's the same thing.
Nostalgia. I'm like, what's going on? Who the heck is doing this? Their sound guy is trash. It's like no ingenuity. And what makes so bad, EA has a longer record than what other companies like Steel City has. So they should be doing things more on point than other companies. But they're not. And I picked up on that stuff. I used to get on them a lot.
What do you think Undisputed used for the sound effect?
I really never really paid attention. It wasn't nothing that really caught my attention for me to really nitpick it.
It sounds different for sure.
Yeah, but so it must have not been a noise that didn't sound natural to me. Cause when it didn't sound natural, I was like, yo, sound like a car door slamming. Let me see. Here go the jobs right here. It got they're looking for an online programmer. They're looking for a gameplay network programmer and a senior animation programmer.
Yo, post the link in the chat. Crooks wants to join.
Oh, okay.
Man, just thinking about Dark, what's his name? Dark Side's video. Just seeing, even it had the full meters. It had three shots to the head, 3 shots to the body. It had all that in the game before too in beta.
You did. They had a lot of stuff that they didn't have in there. I remember you used to have the foot placement wars.
I didn't know that one. Well, I can't remember that one.
Yeah, foot placement. There was a battle of foot placement. I remember that. What's up, Crooks?
What's going on?
How's it going?
It's going good, bro. My condolences, Paul.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what's going
What's going on with what, brother? There's a lot going on these days, man.
What's up with the Fight Night Revival?
What do you mean? What's up with it? What you want to know?
I heard you talk about it. I looked at your video earlier. You know, what is your expectation? What excites you about it?
It's a good game, man. I personally know some of the guys that work on it. A couple of the guys that were the modders for that game. And it's good. I mean, it brings a lot of the newer generation of fighters into the old school game. And really what I like about it is it just kind of goes in hand in hand with what I've said in my videos too, is like just giving people multiple options of different boxing games to be able to play, instead of it just being honed into like, hey, you're either going to play Undisputed or that's it. You know, so it gives you a different feel. Obviously, a lot of people in the Undisputed community played Fight Night Champion and played the Fight Night series in general. So it's nice to be able to, you know, hop up on a game, play as a fighter or a boxer that you love to watch in real life and try to, you know, just try to get wins. And you can play it online, but you got to use Parsec, and Parsec has its own little issues and stuff like that. So that's kind of the down part about it. But overall, everything's good, and they do a really good job of taking recommendations from the community and listening to people who want said like certain boxers added into the game, and then they add different kinds of stuff too. So it's just like kind of like a fun little experiment on an old classic of a game that we all like to play back in the day.
Yeah. But yo, if they're adding all these new boxes, all the modern day boxes, but don't you still feel that the punches, that it doesn't, none of it feels signature? All the punches are exactly the same.
Yeah. I mean, the punch sets are all taken from the fighters that are already in the game. So yeah, the boxer uniqueness isn't up to par, but that's not to be expected with people that are modding the game. You know, you can't really expect that because they're not mo capturing said person's move set or said person's punch set. So yeah, I agree with you with that. You don't get the full 100% experience of the way said boxer boxes in real life, but I mean, there's only so much you can do modding new fighters into a game, you know.
Well, that's the thing. Like I had realistic expectations for it. I realized they can't go and create new punch sets, right? But the thing is, it's after like I play a game for 15 minutes, and it's like, okay, it's okay. It has a fresh coat of paint, but that's about it for me.
Yeah, I could see how that would be. And I could see how you would look at it, because I mean, there's only, like I said, there's only so much you go into it, not expecting it to be a brand new game and for it to have new animations and new punch sets into it, because it's a modded game. It's only introducing new boxers. So I mean, there's only so much newness you can feel in a game. Yeah. But I mean, if you look at it for what it is, it's fun for what it is. But we also are clamoring for, you know, a new boxing game to come out and actually give us the realistic feel that we're looking for.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, because what happened is you let companies keep saying that there is fans that want boxing games, so they're going to keep looking at it and see it And they said, yeah, well, we got to put a boxing game out there. We got to put a real boxing game out there with, that we can make. Companies look at stuff like that. A lot of people think that these companies not looking. There's a lot of companies that's watching. They're really watching. I don't want to put no companies out there, but there's companies that are watching.
Hey, Crooks, what do you think about that new flow state
in UFC 6?
Yeah. Have you tried it, or have you just seen the videos?
No, I played the beta, so I got to try it. I feel like my opinions are very two-sided, right? And what I mean by that is like, I see what people mean by it makes the game look arcadey because of when you get into the flow state, it changes the visualization into a black and white, and the person's got freaking strings coming off their back and stuff like that. So I could get how it looks arcadey. And I agree with that. They probably should have found maybe a different way to implement that without it looking like that. But the state itself, I do like what it's going to add into the game from this standpoint of, in the UFC franchise, for at least the last two iterations, UFC 5 and UFC 4, there is a ridiculous amount of knockdowns. They don't have a damage threshold that is instantaneous with KOs. What I mean by that is like you can get 6 to 8 knockdowns in a fight before you ever get a ragdoll or actually get a KO. And it's been a complaint of the communities as well as in the competitive scene. A lot of people have been asking for that for years, that, hey, you know what? These knockdowns, the amount of them that we're getting and the amount of stuns is not realistic at all. You don't see people in MMA fights getting knocked down 8 times, 6 times. I mean, hell, it's really rare to see somebody get knocked down even 3 times without the referee stepping in. But you're saying for the flow state, it's gonna improve the sim. I guess. It's gonna improve the sim from the sim aspect of, if you're landing punches in the flow state and you're using an act, like let's say if you're using a striker and you're in the flow state as a striker, if you land 2-3 clean shots and your opponent is already hurt, they're done. They're not gonna be able to get back up and do all this stuff. They're gonna get finished. It's the same thing with grappling, right? If you're in the flow state with grappling, it's gonna make it easier for you to finish opponents on the ground. So it's good. It has its good and bad.
But if you were to try to make it more realistic, you would get rid of the whole, I guess, the streamer. What do you call it? Those little tassels, like little.
Yeah.
And leave that whole the way it's playing out right now, and you feel like it's going to improve the sim aspect of the game.
I do, but that I put a caveat on that because I haven't had a long enough time really to see how it's going to develop, right? And that's the tough thing about a beta. You only get so long to actually play it. But now that everybody's going to get the game on full release, then you'll kind of see how it's going to affect it. Because I could say, hey, I love it, but then it's negatively affecting the community. And I'm like, okay, like this isn't as good as I thought it was. Like even though I thought it was good, it's negatively affecting the entire community. It's getting abused or it's too strong. Then I'm like, hey, you know what? We got to make some content to get that shit toned down a little bit.
So my thing with it is that once you go into that whole kind of slow motion, kind of you're in some kind of chamber effect, right? The thing is that to me, I compare it to like if you ever take what's the name of that Ritalin and those kind of meth amphetamines kind of stuff, where they're supposed to make you really focus, right? The thing is, has anyone ever experienced that level of focus that they're trying to portray when we're looking at visually on a video game? Because I'm questioning if it's just cinematics or this is actual.
It is, but I feel like, okay, so obviously they're taking things from what fighters have said, and there are plenty of fighters that in interviews have said like, hey, you know what, when I was in this flow state, everything just felt kind of slowed down. I felt in rhythm, like anything that hit me, I didn't really get affected by it. You know, like I just felt like time really slowed down and it made for an easier time for me in a fight. So I feel like that's what they're kind of going off of. But I mean, you know, I feel like they were looking to add something different into the game, and that's just what they went with. You feel what I'm saying? So
Time slowing down, I guess. Let's just say older versions of flow state would be like if you play any of the EA sports games, Madden or NHL, and you come to that last 60 seconds of the match, and it starts to fluctuate the time. That when you get to the last 10 seconds, that 10 seconds is not counting in 10 seconds anymore. It's double time. It's slow motion 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And we could kind of get that flow state, kind of not like that whole focus effect, I would say more, right? But you know, here's what I'm getting to. So if that is a sim aspect of a game that, and everyone's kind of at the moment, based on what we're seeing, it looks like it might be a good idea. Do you think that would translate into a boxing game like Undisputed?
Do I feel like something like a flow state would translate into Undisputed?
Yeah, like the blueprint that they're doing right now on EA side, if we were to bring that into Undisputed, is that something a boxing game like Undisputed would benefit from?
And yo, what you putting on your chest, Bo?
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I saw that, dog. Oh,
name tag.
Yo, you're talking about in terms of just the flow state, or are you talking about like in terms of what they're implementing?
I tried to frame the whole argument that what we're seeing that's going to come out on UFC 6, this whole flow state, we're in some kind of agreement right now that it's going to bring it improves the sim aspect of the sim sport aspect, be UFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has some kind of positive effect. It's going to benefit. So what I'm saying now is, okay, if this is what we're calling a sim aspect now, if we bring it over to like Undisputed side and we use that as a blueprint, forget about Undisputed, how back in the, I guess, the beta, they had their own version of they're what do you call it? Your heartbeat goes really rapid, and then you go into this kind of flow state as well, right? But if we were just to take EA's version of it and bring it Undisputed, would that improve? Like, is that something that would bring more, I guess, the sim boxing or the sim aspect of the sport into Undisputed?
Well, I think it's kind of hard to say because they're two different games right now. With one of the things that Undisputed, and people have been talking about this too, is UFC has a vulnerability system that Undisputed does not. So in terms of, would it help Undisputed, like the flow state itself, be something that they could replicate over? I think something in the realm of it, maybe, but it's hard to say because of the fact that where the two games are is just, they're both in two separate lanes, and I'd have to see where Undisputed 2 was even at, see the way it was playing before you could, because Undisputed had a lot more issues with just core mechanics that UFC kind of doesn't have at this point.
Well, the whole purpose. Go ahead.
You know, when I think about the flow state, another way I can look at it is if we're talking about any kind of combat sport. To me, if you get stunned or you get knocked by somebody, to me, what they're portraying, that's what it's not a flow state. I feel like that's what happens when you actually you're on the verge again. You're gonna black out.
Oh, you talking about the way you act when you get dazed.
Yeah, when you get dazed and everything starts to go. That's what dazed feels like, man. What they're portraying on that flow state.
But what I was saying is, when you zone out, that's exactly what happened, because I've experienced it. When you zone out, everything like slows down. But my thing is, every boxer don't get that. That's why some boxers, they try to make themselves get tired, because it's like they say your second wind kicks in. When your second wind kicks in, that's usually what happens. It's like a zone effect. Your body gets in. It's like everything literally look like it's slowing down. I know a lot of people like, man, stop lying, man. It looked like everything literally slows down. I wish I had that film. I literally this guy was throwing punches. I was ducking every one of his punches. And I know in slow motion, I was seeing everything slow down, like, whoa. And I was going on. I'm like, yo, what the heck's going on? What? And it was just slowing down. It was just, I was so tired, but my second wind kicked in. And my second wind kicked in, it's like you get into a zone when your second wind kicks in. And everything, like, you know, it's a certain way you start moving.
It's kind of like, it reminds me of like, what do you call it? When I'll put it into like a basketball, even though it's a different sport. But it's like whenever, you know, a basketball or a shooter, he sees the ball go through the hoop, and then all of a sudden the basket starts to get bigger. Like that's kind of what this flow state kind of reminds me of. It's basically like a rhythm. Like the whole purpose of it is to give people some kind of incentivize to play the game the way that it's meant to be played. It's supposed to basically give players more of a reasoning to play fighters to their styles, the way that they actually fight in real life. It's supposed to give them more of an incentive to play the way that they're supposed to be played in order for it to be more of a sim-like experience.
See, the way you explain it, that's the way it should have been explained. See, now that makes more sense. But I'm like,
does it make sense to trigger that you have the power to trigger it?
Yeah.
Like on demand. Does that part make sense?
It seemed like is the way. See, now there's two different things that you said and what he said sound like. Is a trigger system?
Well, there is
to be abused.
There is a trigger system, but it's after you actually fight like that fighter style, the way that they had explained it. Like let's say like you're Alex Pereira and you're doing certain kicks or something like that, or Israel Adesanya, you're doing a lot of fancy head movement and punches are missing and stuff like that. It's supposed to basically be like a meter where it's like once you start completing basically the task of what that fighter's style is, it essentially increases the meter of you being able to enter flow state. Like it's a rhythm starter.
Oh, so they basically bit off of what Steel City had. They basically bit off. They took what they had and they added on to it, like the original thing that they had. Do it sound like that's what they did? Or am I overthinking it?
No, I think it's still different because the problem with Undisputed is it doesn't really give you a lot of incentive to play the game the way it's designed to be played.
Yeah.
This game, it's like
in the beginning
you're talking about ESBC.
Yeah.
ESBC era, yeah. No, I get that, but I'm saying like we haven't played that version of the game to really be able to have a complete analysis of the way that it was supposed to be played and stuff like that. But the thing is like with UFC 6, it's like the way that they're doing their whole thing. It's like it's more up to the players to create the sim experience than the game as a sim experience in general. Like if you want to play arcadic, the game will allow you to play arcadic, but there's going to be consequences to it. Where Undisputed, there's not really consequences to be playing arcadic. You can win off of doing a bunch of stupid stuff without cause and without consequences. Yeah. So it's like with UFC 6, it's like they're trying to put it into basically the hands of the fighter or the players, where it's like, well, you can do anything you really want to do with any of these fighters, but you're going to have to find somebody who is tailored towards your style, is tailored towards the way that you actually play. But if you want to play arcadic, then go play arcadic, but it's not going to actually work the way that it did in UFC 5 did, or Undisputed, or any type of simcade type of game, where it's like there's arcadic tendencies and it's supposed to be a sim structured style of play. With UFC 6, they're trying to basically make it like, we want our players to play the game the way that it's intended to be played. So we've increased mocapped animations, we've increased styles, and we've also added a system where it incentivizes players to actually play the way that the fighters that they're picking actually fight, the way that they fight. So it's one of those things where it's like, I guess it's kind of like it's all in the eyes of the person who's playing the game, because it can be as sim as you want it to be, or it can be as archaic as you want it to be. So it's not completely the sim experience.
But
Go ahead.
The increasing of those animations, I saw that thing where they increased the animation. Do you think that's more of a matter that they got rid of last gen and now therefore, okay, the new gen is going to have better processing power, so they're bringing all that stuff in?
What are you talking about? What do you mean? Like,
well, UFC 6 is not going to be for PS4. It's going to be exclusively for next gen consoles, right? So all these graphical upgrades we're seeing, isn't that a matter that we're ditching the previous generation, so now we're using modern day console? That's why we're seeing, like, that's the real reason why we're getting those I guess those graphical enhancements.
I mean, it could be a part of the reasoning, but I think that they've had enough time to really put out all this type of stuff. They were already gonna put the next game on specifically just PS5 next gen consoles in general. So I think realistically they just had more time on their hands because they didn't do it like a yearly type of thing. So realistically, I think all the added mocap animations and all the stuff that they've added on a graphic level, they've just had more time on their hands to be able to implement all those features and graphics into the game.
But if we were to jump it back to Undisputed, if we were to bring that same system into Undisputed, it would improve the boxing. Is that something like Undisputed's lacking right now?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't say that, because like I said before, it's all in the hands of the person who's playing the game. So at the end of the day, if a person still chooses to play a certain type of way that's not boxing, they're still going to have that ability to be able to play in a broken style manner.
Right, but the thing is, if you're doing it, okay, as you say, it's like a rhythm. It's like you're the more rhythm you generate, eventually you're building up this meter, right, for this the flow state. So like if we bring it, how would that look like in Undisputed?
Oh,
like I said, I guess if you slip a punch, you start to build up a meter. Like, well, I'm just trying to figure out.
Well, I guess it would just depend on who the boxer you choose. So it would be like a rhythm starter. Like if you're a certain type of boxer who's more known for their style is more predicated on them being fancy and them like having more movement based style. Then if you're slipping punches, if you're blocking punches, if you're moving just slightly out the way, like it puts a meter. I don't know exactly what the flow state would be for it, like how they would implement that for Undisputed, but it would go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So like basically I'm saying like I don't know exactly how they would enhance it to the point where it's like it gives players to incentivize to be able to increase like a meter for flow type of state. Like maybe it would be based on what are they specifically known for? Like are they specifically known for their jabs, their movement, their blocking style, their head movement being super I don't know what the word is, but they're flashy types of boxers. So it's like I don't know exactly how they would implement that in a way where it's like it increases to a flow state.
Well, here, let me ask you a funny question. This is being funny, but you do something correct and you eventually get a star. You get that star, and the star allows you to do a super punch.
Oh my God!
It's a fair comparison. Do you think it's a fair comparison that okay, if we bring a flow state into Undisputed, that's what we're actually doing?
I don't think that would be a smart thing to do.
Well, I'm just saying it's arcade. That's what this is the whole thing. I'm just trying to analyze it. Does it make sense from a like I know it's UFC, but like from a sim aspect, it's something about it, man. Maybe I'm too hung up on the visuals about it, but when I think about now in the box, I can't see. Okay, here's a good one. The original adrenaline system in Undisputed was really based on your heart rate. That kind of to me, that kind of flow state that it probably makes more sense than the Undisputed than the UFC flow state.
Yeah, that would make sense. More of a
Like,
adrenaline, like you're saying,
yeah,
a adrenaline meter. Like,
well, yeah, but the thing, it kind of mimics what adrenaline is versus a flow state thing. The whole thing with the flow state we're saying is that if you perform certain scripted actions, we're gonna increase your meter to give you that super.
I see where you're getting. Is you saying like it's giving you something to make it have an arcadey feel to it?
Well, well, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out if it makes sense.
well, one of the biggest. Go ahead.
No, go.
One of the biggest issues with the flow state is the actual like look of it. It looks very like something you would see out of like a Tekken, a Naruto type of game.
Yeah.
Like, you do a certain type of combinations and chain it together, and it basically puts you in this state of flow. And then it just, with all the fire, the little weird animations, the dark-esque futuristic animation whenever you're in the flow state, it makes it look very archaic. I agree. It looks bad to me as well. Yeah. But the whole purpose of it is just to basically incentivize players to play the fighters correctly.
Yeah, it's just the implementation just looks, it gives it that feel like
Tekken feel, archaic.
I'm like, they could have done a better job. It's like let's rush to get something out, because I'm like, say, did they really do that, or is there an option to turn that off?
No, it's well, if it makes it past beta. If it doesn't make it past beta, it'll be gone.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of the community that's stressed about the fact that it looks bad and they don't like it, and they think that not the mechanics should be removed, but just the whole animation sequence whenever you're in the flow state should be removed. So I mean, they might have an option at launch for it to be turned off.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me. Because, like, to me, in this day and age, we should have options. It bugs me out when they don't give people options for stuff. You make your game last longer with options. To the developers that's listening, let me see. This I could tell, because they always be telling me they be in here. Let me see. I got to check my stream and see how many people here. Yeah. Yeah, it's a couple of devs here. It's 7 people here.
There's another kind of flow state. If you play NBA 2K, if you make the first shot, good. If you make the second shot in a row, it builds up your meter. And when you hit that third shot and the fourth in a row, your guy goes on fire.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They still got it like that?
It's NBA 2K26.
Yeah, it's one of the badges.
But isn't that the same concept of the flow state when you think about it?
I think so. It
sounds like it. And guess what? It's no different than NBA Jam. What happened in NBA Jam? How do you go on fire in NBA Jam? Same thing. You make 3 shots in a row, you're on fire, and you could do anything at that point.
Yeah, it's like an invincibility effect. It's like a state of invincibility at the same time. But I chalk it up more to like a Paul George, like I said before, whenever it comes to the NBA, like a shooter shoots and a shooter sees the shot go in the hoop, and all of a sudden that hoop is like 10 times bigger.
Yeah,
So that's the way I look at it
like
with the
Steph
whole
Curry.
flow state. Yeah, like, exactly like Steph
Are you
Curry.
guys still talking about the flow state?
Yeah, yeah.
It looked whenever I first saw it, because there was a dude in one of the discords and he literally did a whole gameplay of it.
He did.
And whenever I saw the flow state thing, I was like, what is that? Like that, it just looks very Naruto-esque, very arcadic. So I can
thought it was
definitely understand
I
why
thought it
people
was a
don't like
joke.
it.
I thought it was a joke. I thought somebody was just being sarcastic. But then I found out it was a real thing in the game. I said, oh, sweat. I said, EA really doing it, huh? They really doing what they say. We're not going to make us a fully sim game. They always said that. A lot of people think I be jazzing, but I know what I'm talking about. I know what the developers said. They said, we're never going to, that's not our model. EA is always going to make hybrid games. They said we're never making a realistic sports game. We're never making realistic sports games. They're going to always be hybrids. I was like, Dad, at least give fans the options. At least the options of it.
Yeah, well, they think that if they make it 50-50, where it's like sim and then it's like 50-50 arcade, they think that that's just the best of both worlds where everybody can be happy. So for them, it's more just like they're trying to go with whatever the larger portion of the community is for when it comes to like UFC games and stuff like that. To them, what they've seen in their data apparently is there's a lot of folks still in the community that want it to still be arcadic and stuff like that.
I wouldn't say necessarily that. I think.
But you know what I help with that?
Oh my God!
What was he talking about?
A survey.
A survey. Hey, a survey let you know what your fan base is instead of guessing for them.
Flow state. You know what's the first time EA I think used the flow state would have been in 2002. NHL Hockey 2002 had a.
Remember that?
You remember that? It had some.
Yeah.
When if you beat the defender and you go on a breakaway, it would suddenly slow down. You would hear the sound effects like a heartbeat, all this kind of stuff. You know what happened to that? That was the last time you ever saw that flow state. People revolted, man, because it turned the game. It's very arcadey, very I don't want to say cartoony, but it's this cinematic style of what a sport is. 2002 NHL Hockey. That's the last time you saw them attempt. That's the last time ever. But EA did it.
EA said they weren't ready for that.
They were, in 2002, man. People were. I think maybe we were smart in 2002. It was smarter. We'll see what happens this time around.
Yeah.
Well, Crooks, what were you about to say? Because you were about to say you didn't really agree with what I had said.
Well, no, I was talking more about. Oh yeah, that people want it. Did you say people want it to be more arcadey?
No, I was saying that there's a portion of the community that still want it to be arcadic.
I wouldn't say necessarily that they want it to be arcadic. They just don't really care either way. I think being in communities and being in like the hardcore sim communities in both boxing and in the UFC. The one thing I remember, I was sitting here and this is way back in the day. I was talking to, and I think I've told you this before. Hey, Monty. I would sit there with a game changer because I used to push this shit the same way everybody else would. Like, why aren't they making this game more realistic? Like, this isn't realistic. And he sat down and told me, he was like, hey, so let me tell you like this. He was like, they have the data. They ran the data. I think this was on UFC 3. I think it was on UFC 3 that I heard this. And he was like, they ran the data on UFC 2 and UFC 3. And he was like, I want you to guess how much what's the percentage of players you think play online? And I was like, oh, it has to be like a good 30%. 30%. And he was like, you'd be surprised. He was like, there is a 10 to 15% of the people that bought UFC 3 had online capabilities and were actually playing the game online. He was like, so 90% to 85% of the community is playing just to play the game offline. They don't care about what's going on online. They don't care about the way that the game is looking. They're just hopping on to play career mode, and that's it. So I don't think it's that people are pushing for the game to be arcadey. I think it's actually the opposite, that people just don't care whether it looks arcadey or not. It's more of the hardcore, the MMA enthusiasts, and Undisputed is the boxing enthusiasts like Poe, everybody that's in here. We all watch boxing, right? People, Poe, in Poe's case, he's done boxing. I don't know if Pax has done boxing, but guys like Bees, they've done boxing, and there's a lot of people in the community that have done boxing, right? So we push for that stuff because we wanted to play as close to realism as possible. But it's the large portion of the player base that just they don't care. They're just like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna pick up and play the game anyways. I don't care about what it looks like or what it feels like. We just want the fighter models to look like them, and that's it.
But that stat you're talking about, that was specifically for your UFC?
Yeah. That wasn't for Undisputed or anything. This is way before Undisputed ever came out.
Okay, but that would have been UFC 3 you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. I think it was in UFC 3. I could be mistaken. This was a long ass time ago, but I believe it was for UFC 3. Like the beginning of UFC 3.
Here's the thing. I don't know what the data says today, because if you think about it, the growing trend is live service games, which means that they're going away from the old offline model kind of thing, right? So even if we look at Undisputed, I think what originally they were going to be, there was talks it might be a live service.
Yeah, original. So that's what's on big.
You know what, man? I wouldn't be surprised if Undisputed 2. I don't know. I didn't really hear them talk too much about the career mode.
The content creators, no, they haven't.
Box Fanatical did. He said the career mode look like it's going to be. He said he's not a real. I mean, a lot of people saying that they're not offline players that went to that event, and they said they're going to be playing offline.
Okay, if they said there was a career mode, and that's a good thing. Yeah, at least we know it's not going to be totally live service.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be just live service. I thought it was just going to be an online game, but they're going to support offline.
Which is good.
I saw the AI developers, they just hiring a lot of AI developers too. So I said, yeah, they're going to do some offline stuff. So they're going to support the whole game. Yeah.
But what area were they talking about for the AI? Like for the I guess like when you're fighting against computer?
Yeah, story modes and stuff like that.
But not the actual combat.
Yeah, the combat, like, you know, like if you fighting against Roy Jones gonna be fighting his, you know, he should be fighting like himself. And whoever you fighting against should be, because that's the AI. So yeah. That's what the AI guy is going to be doing, making sure that each boxer fights according to the way they're supposed to fight. And they have no excuse this time with Unreal Engine. From my understanding, everything should look exactly what we got now. It should look nothing like what Unreal Engine brings to the table. It's like them. Wow, like when Box Fanatical said it's nothing like what the game looked like now. From my understanding, it's definitely not. They're like two different games. It looked like 3 generations ahead of what Undisputed is now.
I hope so because one thing I fear is that have any of you guys played Konami came out with this game back in April, eBaseball Pro Spirit, and it's built on the Unreal Engine.
How does it look to you?
It's built on Unreal, and it's very simmy. It's very simmy, but it's very bland.
Generic looking.
Very generic.
It's the developers. It has a lot to do with the developers, then.
But that's I'm hoping that because we're going to Unreal, I'm hoping we don't get that look, because that game is it's a live service. It's a live service game, and it has a lot of sim aspects, but it just feels generic. Something about it.
Is it real baseball players in it, and like has a real baseball feel to it?
You know what? Like the sim aspect of it feels more harder than playing MLB The Show. MLB The Show has so much different kind of assist that some people are not aware that they're being assisted all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this one, there's no assist, so it really feels more sim, but graphic wise, it's not there. And here's the thing: that game just came out in April of 2026, and it's on Unreal, and it's built by Konami, an Unreal Engine. So I'm just hoping, like, but if everyone's saying, like, what those guys are saying, it looks 3 years, like three generation cycles ahead of what we're seeing on Unity. That's a good thing. But I can't see how much more better they're gonna get in Unity. Unless they get rid of well, actually no, there was never PS4 support, so it was always this generation console.
Yeah.
Or PC.
Yeah, I can see it because there's a lot of games that's built on see that if I knew we was gonna have this conversation, I would have did some research. But there's games that look way more powerful. I mean, way more better looking than what they look on Unity. There was actually a game that was on Unity first, and then they put it on Unreal Engine. But a lot of companies said it's not always great to take a game from Unity and put it right on Unreal Engine, because there could be problems. Like if you have problems on that Unity, those problems could still come into that Unreal Engine engine.
Porting it.
That's what
porting the game.
What'd you say?
They're migrating or porting the game to the other thing, to the other platform.
Yeah. Actually, they building from scratch.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
Because if they ported it from Unity or migration, where you want to call it, it'll snowball.
All them bugs.
It'll snowball errors.
Yeah. The same thing it'll transfer over. So they started.
Well, they got it. And Steel City has to be aware of the issues that Unreal Engine has. The Unreal Engine 5 has issues that they need, that I'm hoping that they're aware of when they're building Undisputed 2, because it has like micro stutters, and it can have like some shader issues. So you just got to be real careful and really do their due diligence, which I think they will do now that their team is a lot bigger and they have more experience. I feel like that's really what they fucking lacked with Undisputed 1, that there's no, like you say, there's no excuse for it in Undisputed 2, is that their team is damn near triple the size of what it was when Undisputed 1 was made. So hopefully, they're going to do their due diligence and really make sure that the engine works the way that it's supposed to, and that we don't have kind of the game-breaking issues that we had with Undisputed 1, like it's and stuff that can't be fixed. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But Crooks, sorry, what you gonna say?
Go ahead.
Oh, but Crooks, going back to this whole flow state, can you see the flow state? Can you have that flow state framework and bring it into an Undisputed boxing game, and still call Undisputed a sim sport? Can it work? Undisputed?
Can it work in Undisputed? That's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to say right now. If you were asking me that, no, it wouldn't. But like I said, the games are completely different, because of the way that they're built. One key aspect is one has a vulnerability system where the other does not. And I know there's been people in the Undisputed community that have been asking for some semblance of a vulnerability system. Do I feel like that would benefit Undisputed? Yes, but I don't know if we'll ever get that. So
I think we'll get that at Undisputed too. A vulnerability system.
yeah, some semblance of it. Not exactly the like one that we have in UFC, but some semblance of it. I feel like people would feel a major difference in Undisputed too.
I agree.
Now, this is something I gotta ask y'all. What does that look like? Because I keep hearing people saying vulnerability, but then I'm like, they're not really explaining it, because vulnerability is so many things wrapped in one.
Yeah. It's a plethora of things. It's hard to just narrow it down. But a simplistic way would be basically it helps damage be landed more consistently with also putting the fighters at realistic risks. So like, let's say if you're ducking down to throw a body jab, let's just per se, if you're ducking down to throw a body jab and I know that you're throwing it and I'm throwing an uppercut and I time it out correctly, it's going the vulnerability on that is more than likely either going to lead to a stun based off of what kind of shot I'm throwing and whoever I'm using, right? If I'm using somebody that has a powerful uppercut, then there's a high chance that might stun you. It's going to do a lot more damage than what it would do if I hit you with it regularly. So it's just like, yeah. So making people pay for stuff like that. What'd you say?
Can we specifically call it an inertia system?
Yeah, they use vulnerability system because the whole thing that UFC goes on is basically the frame data and the lingo that comes with the frame data system that is in FPS games. So like games like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, they all use the frame data system, which is like recovery frames, vulnerable frames, active frames, like different stuff like that. So that's
but there's a difference with Street Fighter and Tekken. They don't have I would say it doesn't take into consideration inertia or the whole idea of weight, forces and weight. It doesn't do that in Tekken and Street Fighter.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying more of why they call it why I think it's named the vulnerability system. But you could change, obviously, Steel City could change it into something like the inertia system or something like that. They'd rename it. It wouldn't be called a vulnerability system.
UFC has inertia. That's one thing I really enjoyed with it. Just like you're describing, if you walk into a punch and that guy is coming at you at the same time, he connects, you could get knocked out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now that's vulnerability. That's why I'm like, I'm glad you explained it, because a lot of people, they be saying we want vulnerability, but they're not explaining it. So I'm like, do they really know what vulnerability is? I know what it is 100%, but I wanted to know that everybody that's keep yelling for it. And I actually heard somebody asking for it, but he couldn't explain it. And I'm like, why are you asking for something you can't explain?
Well, so inertia system, it's a must. What's another vulnerability we don't have right now in Undisputed besides weight and inertia?
That's a good question. To me, if you like blocking, if you're not blocking right and you're vulnerable, because person could punch around your guard. We had that in the game.
If they bring in the manual blocking, then we'll add that layer then.
Like you bring your block back too late, or you're not putting it right, boom, vulnerable.
Well, that's going to come from Undisputed 2 for sure, based on what those guys were saying. Yeah. They were seeing something that looked like manual blocking, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
What would be inertia? It has to have inertia. I can't see them not having it, especially going on Unreal. The manual blocking. What would be like a third of vulnerability that happens in boxing?
It's like,
hey, what about if you get bad coaching advice from your corner?
Yeah, but I don't think that would be a vulnerability. But yeah,
Well, I'd like to see them add.
What'd you say?
I'd like to see them add something around the block system, kind of like to what UFC has with it, is because auto block is going to be a thing in Undisputed 2. And that's something that's never going to go away. I know a lot of people will want the game to switch to manual blocking, which would I'm not agreeing either here or there, right? But auto blocking is always going to be a thing in sports games, right? At least combat sports games. So UFC, boxing, they're always going to have auto blocking. But to be able to work around that is definitely something that I would like to see them implement in Undisputed 2 to prevent, because right now, like the block, what we like to call it is like Undisputed right now has a shield block. So it literally is just you can hold block and run away from somebody, and it's hard as hell to work through it. It really, really is. So having some semblance of being able to set up ways to work around the block or to do something like that, they need to have it in Undisputed too.
Yeah, my thing is, see, I'm not for a boxer being forced to block a certain way. Like, I know Beast, he wants the manual blocking and stuff like that, but everybody doesn't block manual. Every box, you don't see Floyd blocking the same way as Winky Wright. Everybody don't block the same way. So my thing is, we asking, every boxer should not, block the same way. There should be options if you want to, block a certain way. That's my thing is, but my thing is still City should give us, like, if it could be a base or it could be an options, hey, you got the option to block any way you want to block, or according to the boxer style, stuff like that. We need those options.
But you're thinking of it more along the lines of stock characters.
What'd you say?
For stock characters, like a game with stock characters, in terms of not everyone blocks the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
What if it's part of the element is that we're creating it's for, what do you call it? Create a boxer and we're taking it online.
Yeah.
Then what about the whole manual blocking situation then? Because now we're not trying to base it off it's everyone's own creation then.
Yeah, you created the boxer. Now that's on you. What you pick for that boxer. So whatever style you pick for that boxer, blocking style or whatever, even if you like it, you pick more than one blocking style. That's your created boxer. So that's something totally different.
George Foreman, what was his block style? What did they call it again? He kind of does the cross arm, right?
Yeah, cross arm.
In his career, did you ever see George Foreman ever use a shield, a side shield, the guard for the hook?
Yeah.
Or forearm shield, I mean.
Yeah, use forearm to block time. Yeah.
So he does. So the thing is, you can't have. So then the thing is, does every boxer use a forearm shield?
Not every boxer.
Not everyone. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Every boxer don't block the same way. They don't do the same things. Every boxer don't even jab the same way.
No, but I'm just talking about the block then, right? But
I know, yeah.
So the thing is, if they were to implement manual blocking, that aspect I'm talking about, like a forearm shield on a global level, it would not. You're saying it shouldn't happen then because not everybody blocks that way.
Yeah, everybody doesn't block that way. B saying we shouldn't have parry in the game. I said it should. Some boxers parry.
Did he
Yeah.
explain why?
What'd you say?
Did he explain why we shouldn't have pairing in the game?
I forgot what it is. I just once he started saying that, I said, "Dad, Beast, you really taking something that's people really doing boxing." I literally see every
sure he
boxing match I see boxers do it. Every boxing match I see, it's one or two boxers do it. Every boxer do it? No, but I see boxers do it.
Yeah, I'm surprised he had that. He said that.
Yeah, he said he don't think because you know what people do when they see something don't work in another game, they put that same because it looked horrible. And when fight night round 3, it was horrible in there. So I guess you think because it felt in a game, what, 15, 20 years ago, that it's going to fail now. Things change drastically now.
I think they could have did with Unity.
Yeah, I think I
Just,
see.
just even based
I
on
see-
just on our physics system alone, I thought the fact that we could catch punches in Unity, it's like it has the ability.
Yeah. Look what this guy did. Love C Shorty. When he was like catching the punches. That right there, that in itself right there was, to me, that was like, yo, he had the pad work. You doing pad
Yep.
work. That right there is an innovation in itself.
It's the only game that has it. I've played recently. Pad work.
Yeah, I played that 2 days ago, actually.
What you think about that the mid catching part?
I just started playing it. I haven't really gotten to the mid catching part. I just started doing like the amateur boxing like sim mode. You know that part? Like I've done a couple of matches on there for that. Because I know you can't really play online, I guess, unless it's like Parsec or something like that. So I've been just practicing with the AI. Just trying to get a feel for it.
How did you feel about that focus mitt mode, man? And that focus mitt, it forces you to learn how to do combination punches with the coach then basically.
Yeah, and that's crazy that Steel City they didn't have no tutorials until the last.
Yeah.
They waited like when the game was about to be done. What type of junk? That's what you like.
That games come out. Sense, man.
What'd you say?
That alone doesn't make any sense. I never.
It didn't.
Unless Undisputed Champion, the Champion Edition. Unless that was supposed to be really the real release. I don't know.
Nah, I just think that they was trying to find a way to stretch it out any way they could.
Well, yeah, because I mean, more money is more money. So for them, it really don't matter. Right now, what they're recognizing right now is just the new parts of the community that are coming over from the PlayStation Plus subscriptions and stuff like that. So that's the way they tried to basically frame it was specifically for those type of people who are just coming into the game. But it still doesn't make sense why you waited so long just to do it.
Imagine how many people they would have had if they would have did that in the beginning when they launched the game. You would have had a bigger audience. They'd have probably sold 3 million copies the first week. But no, they doing things backwards.
In Bloody Knuckles boxing is the only game right now, like in modern game, that has a pivot. You can actually pivot.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anybody asking for it from Undisputed 2. Or I haven't heard.
Didn't we had that in the Undisputed F1 in the beginning, or am I just
I've never seen it before, and the closest I probably have seen maybe in what do you call it, the PS2 boxing games. The Japanese ones had something like that.
Oh, you talking about Victorious Boxers? Yeah.
But any modern, maybe I got to go back to Don King Boxing to see what they had in there again. But Love C Shorty's Boxing, that's the only one right now I could say that it has the pivot. But in terms of Undisputed 2, I heard nobody saying they saw any pivots, and no one's asking about it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. See, I didn't I haven't played the game. I bought the game, but never played it because I don't have a gaming PC.
Bloody Knuckles.
Yeah,
I'll send you a thing after, just so you can see the pivot. But you saw the pivot before it?
yeah, I saw it. I saw.
Oh, you saw. Okay, yeah, that's
Watch video of stuff like that.
But I'll say one thing with that pivot step.
Pivots, parries, long guards.
Oh yeah,
he's got a lot of stuff mechanically.
Yeah, it's everything in the freaking game, man.
Why didn't they hire this guy? Because he wanted to be a part of the team.
The only thing that game doesn't have is frames, man. It doesn't have enough frames per second.
Yeah, and you can't really expect too much from a person that's doing things by themselves.
But the thing is, controller wise, I feel like they could. I feel like like if it comes Undisputed 2, I feel like on a regular controller, I feel like you could have a pivot system on it.
Yeah, I think because you could get that in Unreal Engine, pivots and all that.
The only thing so this goes back what we were saying before. Unity, if you see the what do you call it? Undisputed Beta, going back to Dark Side when he was showing how you'd be able to cut angles and stuff. But then they locked it down because most likely it was causing the guy to go behind him after, right? Undisputed, I think, Paul, you were saying you don't think that's going to happen in Unreal Engine because it's a better engine or whatever. That should never happen. So
if they optimize it properly,
they optimize it right. So if they optimize and it doesn't happen, then that means there's no excuse not to bring the pivot step to Undisputed 2. That's the only reason I can't see a pivot step on Unity was because of that flaw, or maybe there's a lack of optimization.
Yeah,
I mean that was their excuse for taking a lot of the stuff that they originally had out was because of the optimization issues.
I think that's one of the excuses they use. Some of that stuff they just took out. Somebody kept telling Ash he was trying to give us too much. You're trying to give them too much too early. You're trying to give them too much. Man, that's the craziest thing in the world when somebody say that. That game was almost bare bone already. What you gonna tell me trying to give us too much?
Yo, I wish the developers would give a reason why. For example, if you knock a guy down from a body shot, why did they give us that? Why did they give us the cutscene as if you got knocked to your head? Like, where's the optimization by removing that? That I guess that immersion part of the game. Even if you flash KO somebody in the body, why are we seeing that as if you got knocked out to your head? They used to have the cutscenes are there, but they stopped it. Makes no sense. Unless it's for quick glitching, I don't know.
I'm trying to see something. See, can you pivot in Unreal Engine? Is there a way that you can pivot in Unreal Engine smoothly? Yeah, it says yes. In Unreal Engine, you can absolutely build pivot and footwork for a boxing game. A boxing pivot is usually built from 3 layers: input, intention. The player AI chooses pivot direction, left, right pivot, rear pivot, lead foot pivot, step around angle exit, movement logic. Unreal rotates the boxer around a pivot point using the lead foot, rear foot, or body center animation. The boxer, go ahead.
Tell Aspect can do the same thing for Unity. I did a quick check on Unity, and Unity saying you can do the pivot too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because Lord C. Shorty was doing some of that stuff, but I'm thinking that with the graphics and everything that they're trying to accomplish with the game, that's where they ran into a lot of hiccups and stuff.
Yeah.
And it says something about motion warping, rotation, motion, character movement components, stuff like that. A lot of that plays into it. But all the things that we don't have in in Unity, they have it built in. And by the time we get the game, they're gonna probably have Unreal Engine 6 out, and I heard that's supposed to be way more powerful than what they're trying to do it now.
Then that would be for PS 9th gen consoles then, like
Yeah.
PlayStation 6, Xbox forever, what do you want to call it?
Yeah.
When they push that out, even that's gonna be delayed too now because of the economy.
Yeah, I hope not.
It is.
I know they're gonna try to push us, but we're gonna probably get the game on the PlayStation 5. They're gonna give us they're gonna have Unreal Engine on PlayStation 5. Then they're gonna push it over because they ain't gonna if it's gonna mess them up with their pockets and stuff, they're gonna keep it what's the cheapest for them.
Hey, let me ask you this, Pope. This is a good one. So Fight Night Champion, it was a last minute decision in Fight Night Champion. It was going to be because in Fight Night Round 4, it was 60 frames per second. And then when Champion came up, they made that decision, I guess last minute, to drop it to 30 frames. Do you remember that?
I heard that because I had an argument with the developers about that. I heard that.
Well, here's the thing. The only reason I could see them doing that is because it'll make the gameplay faster, less smooth, but it'll be more herky jerky, so it's faster because you're dropping frames. But the reason I brought that up, the talk right now is that from Grand Theft Auto 6, the rumor is that it's not going to be 60 frames; it's going to be 30 frames. And the thing is, why would you even want to have 30 frames for a game that's been in development? When's the last time GTA came out? Was about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is going to be next gen. How the hell do you make that? What benefit would it be? Because you're already unless they're keeping it for the PS4, they have to make it for PS4 as well. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it has a lot to do with the graphics because they want the graphics to be like up there, photorealistic. So that's going. I think but my thing, the way they saying now that graphics has nothing to do with the way they create games now because of the technology.
Hey,
so
I'd rather have a 64-bit game that's 60 frames than to have let's just say a modern day game that's only 30 frames. Like to me, 60 frames, like especially for sports games, I think that makes a big difference.
It does. It does. When it comes to sports games, it does. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think I'm about to end the live, man. All right. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate both of y'all coming through. AJ Pax. Got my guy came through. Aaron came through. Appreciate you, man.
Of course.
And shout out to Crooks for coming through. Crooks eased off real easy. He said, "Nah, it's getting too deep for me." No, shout out to Crooks,
because the flow state, man. People are getting the flow state.
He ain't leaving that alone. Let me ease up out of here. He ain't leaving that alone. He said, "I'm a flow state up out of here." Yeah. I appreciate y'all, man. Guess I'll do another show tomorrow, and appreciate everybody that's listening to the show. Appreciate y'all. If y'all want to donate, I appreciate it because it helps me with my mother burial. Thought she had insurance, but there's some technical difficulties that I don't want to talk about right now. I'll probably talk about that at a later date. If y'all want to donate, I'm trying to get Shannon Briggs, and like I was trying to get Jay Shep. I say, Jay Shep, just mention, that I need help because you got a fan base and they probably help. I'm trying to get the content creators that that so-called like hip hop gamer and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, y'all always show me respect, like, hey, Pope, but y'all, I need help. Like Brian Mazik, if any of y'all, y'all tag
done. Brian Mazik's finished. He talked too much.
I ain't gonna talk bad about my guy because I'm not gonna talk bad about Brahmas either.
Well, he made a mistake.
Yeah.
That thing with W2K was the first time they were trying to run that scam on the community, and he defended it, and it backfired. And now I think 2K told him to get rid of all his tweets, man. They don't want him talking on the subject anymore because he was one of the reasons that caused the backlash.
They blaming him for something that they designed.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
They scapegoated him. He's getting some scapegoat blame for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, I'm gonna see y'all if y'all pop in tomorrow, but I'm about to end the live.
Yo, box size, he just checked you there.
Salute box out. Let me see. Yeah, that's what I should have checked. Oh, shout out to Don D205. I ain't shout you out. Shout out to Solo, knowing Solo, he was in here. And JMMA came through.
Oh, I thought you saw that one before.
No, appreciate you, JMMA. Appreciate you, man. Mad love for y'all, man, in the community and Box Eye View. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the donation to my mother's funeral. Yes, definitely not no scam. I don't do no scams at all. Because my thing is, my family be like, why you don't ask people for stuff? And me, I'm like, nah. Like, even when if I don't want my channel to ever be monetized, and a lot of people be thinking that's crazy, but I don't look at it like that. Maybe if it helped me get into the gaming industry, I will. But yeah. But other than that, I don't look for money for nothing. But right now, sometimes you gotta put your pride to the side and you gotta put your hand out. And I appreciate all of y'all, man. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all of y'all, man. And salute. Until tomorrow, y'all. Peace.
Peace.